It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Northern Monk Brewing Company, and it's a can of their Flake and Sauce Ice Cream Pale Ale, coming in at 5.7% ABV in a 440 milliliter can. This is available in Morrisons. It's £3.50 a can, and it's been brewed with vanilla, raspberry and chocolate. Interesting one. Interesting direction that breweries choose to go in these days. I mean, it must be... I'll get into all that in a moment. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get first and foremost. It took me a little while to get hold of this beer. It wasn't available in my local Morrisons store, so I had to travel out to Cardiff for this one. There's a bigger Morrisons out in Cardiff. It used to be the other way round. The Cardiff Morrisons used to be rubbish for their craft beer, and the Barry Morrisons used to be really good. But it's kind of flipped on its head a little bit different, a little bit kind of more Cardiff than Barry. It is the capital of Wales. You're more likely to find the stuff in the bigger store. It makes sense. But we finally got it. So what do we have? It looks really interesting, don't it? 2-finger, slightly off-white, pinky-like head. Good levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass there. Slow-moving carbonation, actually. The light caught it a little bit. There's a little bit of sediment as well that's in the glass, which looks pretty cool. I quite like that. But it looks like a raspberry, definitely a raspberry infused beer, doesn't it? £3.50 a can. Let's get the aroma on the beer then. I mean, yeah, it's a really interesting one, and I would just want to talk about the direction of some of these, the direction that some of these breweries have decided to go in is it smells like Neapolitan ice cream, which is supposed to do vanilla, raspberry, chocolate. It's supposed to be kind of Neapolitan, isn't it? It is Neapolitan. You definitely get a little bit of sweet chocolate. You definitely get a bit of raspberry. You definitely get a bit of vanilla. But you're not really getting anything else. You're not really getting much of a base malt here. Aroma of base malt, biscuitiness, nothing like that. You're not really getting any aroma of hops either. So you're not really getting a malt aroma, or you're not getting a hop aroma, which for a lot of people is what beer is all about, is getting the aroma of the malt and the hops. Northern Monk have got a terrific reputation for brewing terrific beers, but they do every now and again like to have a little bit of fun, should we say. They've brought out roast beef dinner, Aunt Bessie's beers. They've brought out cheese and onion crisp beers with Seabrooks. They brought out, I think there was a recent one. They brought something out recently. I don't know, it was like April Fool's Day, but it turned out to be real. I don't know, it was like Oxo Cube or something. It was something crazy that they come up with, but they do like to, I don't think they like to take themselves too seriously. On that note, let's dive in. But they are a very serious brewery. Well, let's get the first bit out of the way. And would I buy it again? Would I Would I buy it again? No, absolutely not. After one taste, no. I wouldn't buy this beer again. I can't imagine many people who would, to be honest. And this is the thing that baffles me. This is the thing that completely baffles me with beers like this, is that although the Seabrook cheese and onion crisp beer and the Aunt Bessie beers, the jam roly-poly and the roast beef dinner beers went out into Morrisons, they were one-offs. They were one-offs. They were in, out, sold, never to be brewed again. Well, once a year they brew that type of beer and they put it into Morrisons. But once a year, they brew it for a bit of fun, put it into Morrisons. People buy it, people enjoy it. But this is a permanent beer. This is something that they've sat down round the table with and they've tasted this beer together, the tasting panel, and they've gone, yeah, this is exactly what we want to be brewing going forward. And I find that baffles me, absolutely baffles me, because I've been to Northern Monk. I've seen how they pride themselves in producing excellent pale ales and IPAs. I brewed a collaboration beer myself where it was a custard cream pale ale with Northern Monk. There was a little bit of custard cream biscuit flavour. We smashed up a load of custard cream biscuits and threw it into the kettles. But then most of the beer was pale ale. It was pale ale. It was decent tasting pale ale. Hoppy. There was a little touch of custard cream. Whereas this is just something else. This is raspberry, like a fake raspberry. Then you get that horrible kind of like you've just sprayed hairspray on your tongue by mistake. Say you're putting hairspray in your hair when you're singing and you get a little bit of it on your tongue and you got that kind of awful kind of hairspray on the tongue feeling going on. It's got that with the artificial flavours going on with the beer. Little bit of synthetic chocolate, little bit of vanilla. I mean, if you're looking for a Neapolitan ice cream pale ale on the shelves of Morrisons, then you found it. I mean, go and buy it and see if you enjoy it. But I just can't imagine, many people who would go out and buy this and then enjoy it. I can imagine people buying it for the intrigue, giving it a go, but I can't imagine many people buying this and going, oh yeah, you know, this is the way forward. This is the way forward with beer. This is the next generation, you know? This is the next thing to do. It's a little bit refreshing. But there's no malt character coming through. There's no hops coming through. The other thing I wanted to mention, of course, is maybe these brewers are producing these beers because the margin's higher. Perhaps they can make an awful lot more money if they make these ice cream flavoured beers because it's flavourings that they can put in as concentrates and they're not paying as much to the hop producers, the hop growers, to buy hops and put hops in their beer. I certainly can't taste any hops in this beer, but it might be margin. It might be that Northern Monk want to make a big profit off this beer, same as Morrisons. But as far as your brand goes, as far as Northern Monk just a few short years ago was seen as this extremely solid brewery that if you invested in one of their beers, you were going to get a terrific beer. You were almost guaranteed to get a terrific beer. What's happening here is that I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure. If I went to Northern Monk's website and ordered some beers from them, say £6, £7 a can, I'm not so sure if I'm going to get incredible beer back anymore, because they've decided to go down this road of producing these flake and sauce ice cream pale ale type beers on the shelves of Morrisons. There's another Welsh brewery that's doing the same thing. Perhaps the Welsh brewery based in Newport have chatted with Northern Monk and they've said, hey, we're making an absolute fortune off these adjunct ice cream beers. We're making X amount a can. And that's what happens. Next thing you know, Northern Monk are doing the same thing because they want to make a fortune too. But for the brand, for the name, it doesn't do too much for it, does it? It doesn't do too much for it. This beer is a very, very poor 3 out of 10 for me. 3 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.